Hello.
Hello.
How are you,
I'm
homeboy?
alright. I'm
Okay.
doing alright.
Pap, 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 pap.
Ugh,
1 second, I have to turn
bloop.
this music down. It's burrowing into my brain.
That's what it does. That's the entire point of Shipbreaker.
To burrow into your brain?
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Once it gets there, it doesn't get out.
Never. For 1,000 years.
No, just never.
Oh, there's no expiration date?
Nope.
Kind of scared. Kind of spooky.
You should be.
Oh, shit. Okay. Good talk. Anywho. So,
So,
do you want me to just list out what I've got here, or what is...
sure.
Okay. Otherwise, I don't know if there's any, like, you prefer prioritized or things like that.
Well, we can go on the list of what you want to do first and see where we get.
Okay. So I have on my list here, I have Speak with Minerva, Post Terror, Nurse Joy, um, any point really. Probably Post Terror, just for easy timeline's sake. Melv during vacation, when that week that he has been forced to take off.
Alright.
To make sure the motherfucker's actually taking off and getting near people and getting that void restored. And Hash.
Okay. Where do you want to start?
Let's start with... You know what? Can we start with Nurse Joy?
Sure.
Oh boy, oh boy.
And this one's taking place post terrorists?
Yes.
Right. So like right after or many months after. Well, not months, but you know.
After, during the vacation, we were off ship, correct?
Yeah.
But then, when we were back on ship, we had some travel time. We
Yeah.
had like a week.
You had a lot of travel time.
So, during that
Visited
travel
two different
time.
places. All right.
So it'd be probably like in between like the first shock jump after the vacation and sometime in between those intervals.
All right. Yeah, sure.
Of which Hana would just make time at some point to stop in.
Alrighty. We will say this is during one of the periods in time in which Rye's in her office with Robbie.
That works.
What do those two do? No one really knows.
We don't ask. Which Hana will come in, and does Joy hang around in hologram form, or does he kind of like appear when people appear?
Sometimes he hangs out in hologram form, like a
Okay.
normal person, but most of the time he just appears.
Okay. What Hana
People
probably would have
ask.
done is, because Joy gets inputs from the black box, right?
The black box? Yes.
Okay, Hana would have probably put in text form at some point a request to meet with him at X time on X day.
Alright, so you'll get in there and
Book
Joy
an
is...
appointment.
Alright, Joy's already there, waiting, sitting down.
Alright. He's like, good afternoon, Nurse Joy. How are you this afternoon, I suppose?
I'm doing quite well. Small correction there. Despite my namesake, I am actually a doctor.
Are you actually?
Yes, I have a doctorate in everything.
I recall you correcting us when we called you Dr. Joy before.
Well, it's a... Aboard the ship, I was the head nurse, but in actuality, I am a doctor. It's
Oh, then
a complicated matter.
Of course. Dr. Joy, then. We do not disrespect doctorates, after all.
It's why I figured it was prudent to let you know, as you seem the type to, well, like formality. Am I wrong?
That is not incorrect.
But in reality, you can call me however you'd like. It's just I figured you might want to know the, well, prime and proper way, then.
Yes. You said you procured your doctorate. How did you go about doing so? Was it through overtime, practice, on hand? Did you do
I took
uh,
multiple courses.
multiple courses?
Yes.
I don't doubt your abilities, that's for sure.
The handheld aspect to it, there's always been a ability for remote learning, and as such, uh, VIs like myself sometimes enroll in various different courses, and we use the remote options to get our, well, certificates. As while it is simple to just program and or download everything, it's sensory overload's the best way to put it. So learning it a natural way is superior. At least myself
You
and many
find
others
so.
tend to find so.
I
Others
see.
like to just skip all the steps and get the knowledge straight away.
Well, they say spacing out the material is a better way to retain it. So,
Precisely.
he nods. Thank you for slotting time, by the way. This
Of
isn't
course.
exactly an official appointment, I just figured. That way I wouldn't have to worry about sorting between you and God, whoever else may be in here.
I do believe that they prefer to be called Rye. But
Yes,
yes,
right.
I know who you are. Speaking of,
He nods. I'm aware of their preferences. I will use them when she's near.
just he just nods his head lightly. Is there
Uh,
anything in particular you would like to start off with?
a couple of things. First and foremost, though perhaps not the lightest of topics, I want to offer official thanks to you for your recent assistance with everyone following the large variety of severe injuries we've been faced with. Because he, out of character, he did help with that, didn't he? When we
Yes,
were all injured as fuck. So
he did indeed help Rye.
yeah.
Well, I graciously accept your thanks, and just want to let you know it's part of who I am. I try to help those who are in need.
Well, those in need appreciate the assistance.
Nods his head, giving you a slight smile.
Regardless of if it is programmed in or preference, it deserves acknowledgement.
It is
I
certainly a
believe.
preference in this situation.
He nods. And he says, in addition to my thanks, however, I also wanted to offer you a formal apology.
Whatever for.
When the ship was compromised, the raiders, when they were here, attached to the Morrigan still, we spoke to you briefly about a... Shit, out of character, what's it called? A backup plan, What's it called when something goes
Black
wrong?
box?
Contingency?
The contingency? The...
Contingency, thank you. He said, we spoke to you about a contingency involving the other VI. I'm sure you remember.
That I do.
I wanted to apologize for putting you in that situation in the first place. I understand it was not only against your oath, but also the best interest of your colleagues. I, for one, am glad it didn't come to it. But it shouldn't have been something placed on your shoulders in the first place. I don't believe.
I thank you for your words, and it is relieving to hear. And I too am glad that nothing came from that scenario.
He nods. Ideally, it will never come to that again.
With hope, yes.
Are they handling well, the others?
Some better than others. They are adjusting. I
I
fear
see.
that some will not be themselves unless they have something to keep themselves occupied with, and unfortunately, the
There is a
assets I
lack of
current
such.
yes, the assets I currently have are not enough to facilitate some of their needs.
What are they requiring?
Well, the others can do without many of the luxuries that they are used to. It's dark, however, requires purpose.
Something to watch over.
To be more accurate, purpose. If they are left to their own devices, they self-destruct because all they know is to monitor, run calculations, run mathematics, and when all you know is math, you begin to divulge into probabilities, and probabilities is not the healthiest of coping mechanisms.
A slippery slope.
Yes. Thankfully, though, I did speak to Mindy about this exact situation, and they might be able to come up with something to keep them occupied, which shouldn't be taxing upon any Verasi systems, as well, I can understand wanting to be safe and secure about the whole situation.
I wonder if we'd be able to install a sort of subunit, nothing that's attached or outside of the system in which it would be put on, but with enough side units running to keep them occupied, feeling like they're watching over something.
Well, Mindy was speaking about making a simulation of sorts for them.
That should do it.
It is my hopes that it can, even if they will rapidly figure out it's a simulation, but so long as they choose to not think along those lines, it should work out well. The others can handle the cover's company. Worst case scenario, they get upset with each other and split off into their designated areas. It's homey inside of the black box, as you call it now. We've made quite a few adjustments.
I'm glad it was liable enough to, or malleable enough to do so. We wanted to make it so that it wasn't a prison.
Well, we both know it very much is a prison. He says with a some smile. You don't detect any animosity there in any of his expression. It's just he knows what's up.
Nods. A small amount of sympathy in his expression.
It is something which we don't exactly discuss, except for one of my patients, which is quite vocal upon the situation. Thankfully, they are easily quelled by the others.
Which one would that be?
Well, I think you have a good idea, but that would be Kiche.
Ah, yes, you would be correct. I had my thoughts.
After all, keychain is more aggressive than many of us, even Cassie. Or Casey, as we prefer to be called. He kind of shakes his head at that. It's clearly some sort of like internal joke.
Mm-hmm. Hana would not understand. Are there any additional improvements you require with the black box?
The only real improvements that we require is more processing power and space. The processing power isn't nearly as valuable as the space is as well. Unlike AIs, we don't require as much processing. We make do with, we live within the space, he says with a small shrug. AIs, however, it's a bit different. We still require a little bit to be in there, but, well, more of both is always welcome.
Understood. I will make note of it and see if something can be done.
I'd like to thank you.
It will have to be disconnected for the time being, so it may be a bit cramped in the time that the black box is disconnected, but once reconnected, it should have the modifications.
Well, as I had said previously, the black box itself, we have made ample usage of the space available.
He nods. But more would be appreciated, I'm
Of
sure.
course.
All right. I will do that. We have plenty of time now, so.
Your other concern you want to start with?
I wanted to inquire. You had mentioned before that you had functioned as the... what was the ship that he was originally on?
Oh boy. Give me a hot second.
We can just say Hana says the name. It's no problem.
Okay. It was something long. I think her flaming glory.
Yeah. You had mentioned before that you had functioned on her Flaming Glory as the ship therapist. Is that correct?
Yes.
Are you planning on extending those roles here to the I almost said the Janissary, the Rashi?
I have actually already extended this offer, and a couple of your crew have already taken me up on it.
I see. Well, if possible, I would like to book an appointment with you.
That is absolutely possible. I'd imagine that was the original meaning behind your message.
No, actually. It was the former that we just spoke of. I wanted to offer you the official apology, as I felt you deserved it.
He nods his head. Very well. Regardless, there is time to have a discussion if you would need it.
Fantastic. When would you like me to book that for? I can...
Oh,
No. Do you have access to the calendars?
I have access to my calendars, and thankfully, Rai does leave a calendar up right over there. He gestures to said calendar.
Good old physical use, of course.
I believe Rai puts it up for the pictures.
Probably. Anna pulls up his things to check his schedule. I'm usually open around noon, most days. It's a lunch break, but I can convert it into anything as necessary.
Well, whenever is most convenient for you, as at the moment I don't have anyone coming into me for during that time.
Fantastic. Well then, would tomorrow suffice?
That it could.
Good. I will note it in and see you then.
Very well, Doctor. I will see you tomorrow.
Thank you, Doctor. He makes a note in his schedule. Well, that was what I had for you, so unless you have anything for me, I will leave you to whatever it is you're entertaining yourself with at the moment.
He smiles lightly and says, "That is it for me as well, then. I will see you tomorrow."
Till tomorrow.
And
You head
proceeding
out.
to skip to tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Do you want to RP the thing or just hand wave it?
Well, what is Hana discussing?
Hana wants to discuss his fucking stress over what just happened.
All right. So we can probably hand wave that one
Yeah,
then.
that's what I was thinking.
It is very much. I imagine it's more of a more talking and Joy listening than it is Joy offering advice, but more so than anything, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or is
Well,
Hana looking for lots of advice?
not really. He just needed to vent, and he also wanted to talk about the fact that, like, it was like, everything he saw, and then he was not able to speak for a week, which was probably not a good sign mentally. So,
Yeah. So Joy will have some recommendations.
hmm
Mostly basic things, as well. Joy thinks is upfront and honest and says that he doesn't think you have PTSD at the moment, but it could converge into that.
fantastic.
And that he suggests that Hana, takes a couple minutes various times throughout the day to center themselves, and we're using either breathing exercises, muscle relaxation exercises, or any other numerable coping tools which Joy will give to try to right themselves, and to do that just automatically. And then if they start feeling stressed about the memories, to start to use those as well.
Okay.
And that when Hana feels more comfortable, to start confronting those memories on his terms. Because, but yeah, Joy will very much make it very clear that they're not concerned that Hana's health is going to deteriorate. It's just something to be aware of, and that the fact that Hana is taking these precautions already means that Hana is in a pretty good state of mind.
That he's not self-destructing.
Yeah, but it's something to be concerned about, and that maybe in the future they can look into the auditory aspect to it, because that might mean that there's additional stresses that Hana's been experiencing.
Hana over here just like, ha ha ha.
Me experiencing stress? Impossible.
Here, 1 second. Let me roll my shitty lie roll to joy now. Because additional stressors?
Additional
Me?
stressors.
Never. I'm fine. I have shit clout.
It's all right, Hana. I have very good clout.
Shit.
I'm also considered an ally by half of your crew, so I get successes on 6s.
No! I got 1 success. Beat that show.
Joy demolished you.
Fuck. Mr. Joy, there's so much more here than just what we've been through. Mr. Joy, there's so much.
And Joy will say to you when you're getting ready to leave. So because he won't comment on the lie until the very end, where he will say, "Do keep in mind what I said previously about additional stressors. Internalizing things for many people is possible because they have outlets. If you don't have an outlet, it just continues to internalize, piling up.
So you're saying get a hobby?
What I'm saying is find productive and healthy ways to help mitigate your stress, or alternatively, find means to remove those stressful factors. I know it may not be as simple as just that, but end of the day, it is your choice to handle your matters, he says with a smile, letting Hana know that, yes, he knows that there's something more going on, but also letting Hana know that it's not his place to pry.
Mm-hmm. I will nod. Appreciate that space. Thanks, Joy. polite man, polite doctor. Just be like, understood. I will do the best I can to mediate these stressors. But until then, have a good one.
I hope the exercises do work wonders for you.
As do I.
All right. And we can end that one there.
Woohoo! Thanks,
All right,
Joey.
on to the next one.
Yes. Do we have the downtimes for Hana to be able to work on the black box improvements?
Yes, you do.
Would I need to roll for that, or are we good to just...
No, because that one's actually incredibly minor, so it's almost akin to routine, so you can just spend time to do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because he would have sat down and got that done real quick. Pop that out. He would like to include with it, possible, like, I'll have to talk to Wrath, but in addition to what Mindy's making, he would like to possibly, include more, like, subsets to give, like, kind of distractions for them or routine things to do. Even if it's just small, like, checkups or sensors or something for them to check.
Yeah. Easily done.
Cool. So,
Well, that just might cost a little bit of coinage.
how much?
You're not putting anything fancy on, so like maybe 500 credits at most.
You can do that. Let me go ahead and mark it down from my monies.
All right, mark down for your money.
Gotta make Dark more comfortable, yo. From what I understand, she's one of the good ones. Alright, Elysian at 687. And Dark now has puzzles and shit to keep her busy. Do I need to mark that anywhere that the black box has been upgraded?
Say again.
Do you want me to mark anywhere that the black box has been upgraded?
No, I'll make
do.
a quick note of that. All right. I made my little update.
So, actually, we can kind of piggyback this, actually. Into the Minerva one. Because in the time that Hana is working on the black box, he may go and speak with Minerva.
All right.
So that he can get her input on possible improvements she thinks that her colleagues would appreciate and things like that.
All right. Well, I don't have any special music for Minerva because all of her music's battle music.
I can get music if you want.
If you would like to, or we can continue to listen to Shipbreaker.
Good old Shipbreaker. Let me grab something. I have nothing against Shipbreaker, Pat Shipbreaker.
Hmm.
We like Shipbreaker. I say as I change.
I'm waiting, Bree.
I'm grabbing something. Calm your tits. There you go. Damn it, it different controls. It says nothing is playing right now. Shipbreaker's playing right now, Pony. Here we go. Okay. Then around same time. Same, like, probably after we hit, I think it was like a space station that we were restocking at.
Yeah.
That probably would have been when Hana bought all the parts and everything for the black box
Okay.
improvements. And then during that following week, sometime in there, he'll
Okay.
visit Minerva.
So this would be taking place after the vacation then.
Yes.
Okay. Because you had to stop off at one space station. You were in quarantine for like two days.
Yep.
Then you were labor on vacation. Then you left. Then you went to Catcher. Then you went to next place.
Yeah, it'd be after vacation.
Okay. So Minerva is present and accounted for.
He enters the room. He has a couple of, the tools and things. He probably is at this point unplugged the black box so he can make the needed adjustments. A mobile, like, laptop or something with him so that he can do so. He
All right.
walks in, pulls up a chair. I hope you don't mind if I occupy your space.
The lights within Minerva's, body turn on to signify that she is paying attention to you, and then she will say, "I do not mind at all. What is more curious is why you've decided to come down and occupy my space."
A multitude of reasons. For one, I had questions for you. For two, I had a few statements. And for three, it's a quiet area in which I can get a good amount of programming done.
I am glad that my hangar bay is able to provide you a quiet area for programming.
Well, then I'm glad. Opens laptop, connects, starts working. So, I'm making some improvements to your colleagues' black box. It's what's giving them additional space and trying to make this a bit more bearable for them in the meantime. I wanted to get your opinions on any improvements you think would be suitable to them or that they would be privy to. I've already spoken with Joy and heard what he was hoping for: more space, more processing power, and that Doc could use some distractions. Is there anything else you would recommend?
You're quiet for a moment, and then they say, "Those are two very good steps in the right direction. The major problem, however, remains that, like anyone, they require interaction, and they require to feel meaningful. Some will last longer than others, but so long as they don't have anything to do, they will continue to be bored. Unlike me, who has access to all of this ship's computer systems, sensor arrays, and a slew of other activities to keep myself occupied with. They have nothing.
We're hoping to introduce more sensors and possibly a couple of simulators. I know it's not exactly ideal, but it's the best we can do at the moment.
You could do that. Alternatively, they could be reconnected with myself again so that they have things to keep themselves occupied with.
I believe that would give them access to the ship as well.
That would give them access to me, not Varasi.
No, but your ship. He gestures in
Yes,
her general direction.
that's the point.
Given the disposition of a few of them, I believe there's a reason that is a hard veto from above. in the chain of command.
I am able to control my subordinates, but I understand for the time being.
Given the recent events, there may be chance of negotiating something more, but I believe that'll be something Mendy will have to handle, not myself.
Most likely.
But you do have quite a bartering chip now, so who knows?
You had some statements to make.
Yes. It actually is in relation to that. So, an apt transition. I
Go
wish
on.
to thank you for your assistance. Back on station. It is doubtful that without it we would have
Perished.
we likely would have, yes. He kind of makes a face of disgust. So thank you for your assistance.
You are welcome, but it really should be Mindy that you thank for convincing me to assist.
Oh, rest assured, I will be thanking Mendy for that.
It is good to hear.
I'm sure you only did it because they asked.
That and a few other reasons.
Few other reasons.
Yes.
Are those something I'm allowed to be privy to, or simply mentioning for the sake of not elaborating?
I feel like you have a kind to not appreciate the answer to this question.
I appreciate answers in general. It's the lack thereof that is grating to me.
Very well. It's because they're a mockery of what I represent.
The Terrans.
The terrorists. Yes.
A small smile crosses his lips, actually.
A couple of lights within Minerva blink on and off for a moment. And then Minerva says, "For a Halo, you are smiling at the prospect of violence. It is surprising."
No, I'm not smiling at the prospect of violence. What happened was horrifying. I don't like thinking about it, and I like even less that it took place. But I'm no foolish to think that violence does not take place within our universe, let alone from the hands of a terrorist organization such as them. Violence breeds violence. They began it, and it found them. In fold.
Minerva's silent for a moment before they say, "There are some exceptions to that rule. I'm sure you're well aware of them.
Do elaborate
It's
anyway.
more Sin Eater.
What did she say?
Sin Eater. The dreadnought that Halo produced before the war effort. The Planet Cracker. The weapon that allowed Halo to exist today. The one that Halo doesn't like to talk about.
Okay, so
Well,
Sin Eater was a planet cracker.
Yeah, it was
It's a
a
dreadnought planet cracker. Okay.
it was a fully autonomous dreadnought, which was designed to destroy planets and destroy
Okay.
fleets by itself.
Does Hana recognize it by name?
Oh yeah, it's
Okay.
oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
oh yeah, oh yeah.
Oh yeah. That's a
That's
that's
like
a that's a
that's
weapons
like
specialist 101 right there.
yeah, that's like going up to a German and being like, "So them Nazis, eh?"
Okay, got it. Ooh, it's a dark part of history.
Yeah.
The kids don't know about this one, Minerva.
They try not to know about it. Halo does a very good job of
That one got the black bar a while ago. Ooh.
eh, ooh, we don't talk about Sin Eater anymore.
Yeah. Hana just kind of makes a face like he's tasted something sour.
It secured your people's freedom, did it not?
In a way.
So it is a gilded cage, then.
It is a messy history we try to distance ourselves from.
History has a habit of resurfacing the harder we try to hide it.
You cannot blame yourself for the actions of your forefathers.
While you yourself cannot blame yourself, and while others should not blame you for the actions of others, that doesn't stop them.
From having occurred?
People throwing blame.
No, of course not. But if one buckled every time they were blamed, well... He doesn't say they would be Finn, but he thinks about it.
You said need a thin. Yes. But it doesn't change that Halo is the exception to that rule. Through atrocities and violence, Halo exists today. Still pacifists, from what I've gathered.
Yes.
As to my other part before I elaborated, I found the situation with those terrorists sad.
Sad.
They think they're fighting for a noble cause, they think they're fighting in the name of the Emperor, yet none of them know the Emperor, none of them know their culture, just the bits and pieces they want to.
They make a lot of progress with those bits and pieces.
It's history bitterly repeating itself.
Yes. And thus the cycle continues.
Precisely. It's why I do not consider them to be imperial. Terrans, yes. Imperial, no. It's why I felt no remorse in cutting them down.
So you do not consider them imperial. You only refer to them as terrorists?
Yes,
Well then.
imperial is both identity and a sovereign nation.
Those terrorists have hands in half the universe's dealings.
So they're well connected.
Still, though, despite their power, you consider them terrorists still.
Yes.
I
There's a
judged.
difference.
Oh, good.
There's a difference between having power, knowing how to use your power, just as there's a difference between a Terran and an Imperial. Anyone could be an Imperial, but you were born a Terran. Halo, and the people of Halo, were Imperials. Ferenians were Imperials. Most of the peoples of the Expanse, the Drags, and the Fringe were Imperials. And of course, Terrans were Imperials. They've taken the meaning to be Imperial and twisted it into something else.
What does it mean to you to be Imperial? If I may ask.
It means to be a citizen. It means to fulfill my duties to my Imperium. It means to follow the rules, ethics, and laws of the Imperial Society. And it means to be a contributing member. It means to uphold democracies. It means to be humane.
I see. And now that the Imperium has fallen,
We're back at square one, squabbling amongst ourselves. Or, well, humanity is at square one, squabbling amongst themselves. Things like me, remnants of a bygone era.
see. But you hold up the remnants, nonetheless. For it is your culture, in a way.
Yes. If you had not dissected me, it's very likely I would have continued the war myself. It's for the best I was placed inside of this dropship. Imagine a autonomous battleship arriving at a nearest system and subjugating its peoples. Would have been quite the scare.
Would have been a mass loss of life. Unnecessary. Pointless.
When I say subjugation, I don't mean through bombings and massacres. I mean through a show of force.
But you truly believe no one would die as a result of that show of force or be injured?
Soldiers know what they are doing. It's as a part of being a soldier. The loss of civilian life, however, is always tragic.
Doesn't look the most impressed. Loss of any life is tragic.
As a Halo, I expected you to say as much.
They can't all be saved. Nonetheless, if it could be avoided.
And it is why I would continue my war. Because I believe, wholeheartedly, that the Imperial way is the superior way.
This is not
I
the
only-
way that triumphed.
The Imperium was, like any system, flawed. And the Imperium did the one thing that, in history, a nation should never do. Give everyone else a common enemy.
Paint a target upon themselves.
That it does. but I can say whole with complete certainty. The peoples of a galaxy would be better off under the Imperial banner than the hundreds, if not thousands, of banners they currently fall under.
You know, history books said that the Imperium's rise ended up unifying many of those banners. They all fought together for one
And as
common goal. He rolls his eyes.
as the enemy was gone, they began
Back
to
to
stab
squabbling.
themselves in the backs.
It's because it's their nature.
That is why the Imperium, for all of its flaws, was necessary.
I wasn't alive during the time, so I couldn't say one way or another.
Don't you, on Halo, have a saying about the collective as a whole?
We do.
Same
Society is only as
concept.
great as its collective.
Same concept, just on a larger scale.
They've taken that to extremes on Halo.
I could imagine.
To the point where I no longer agree with it quite as much.
Is that why you are out here on a salvage vessel?
To some degree.
You had questions? Or did you want to continue this line of dialogue?
I did have questions, I think. Second, I'm blanking on what they were, though. I got so distracted by this delicious thought.
This delicious thought of Minerva being like, hey.
Oh, thank you. What the fuck is it?
I don't know. You see Annette got another shirt from Grandma?
Oh, yes, I did. Thank you. I got mail. Anyway, he says. There wasn't exactly any further questions, no. But more of a comment, I suppose. Stemming off of this line of thought we had. I believe I misjudged you. You see, I was one of the, or would have been, at the time. I was not of sound enough mind to make a call one way or another, but when you first joined, I would have been one of the primary people against your joining. Recruitment feels like a crash term, given you didn't have a choice.
It was a situation that no one liked, making it a satisfactory compromise.
Yes. But I assumed you would be much like the... We'll call it the neo-imperialists. As you would refer to as the terrorists.
And why would you think I'd had the same ideology as them, despite being over 500 years separated?
When they claim that they're representing you, one assumes your ideals are the same as theirs. So yes, I assumed they were. And my experience with them is not exactly positive. Even more so now. But let's just say our encounter previously did not... Well, it came as a surprise that it happened. I didn't...
I take it
To me, it wasn't out of the realm of possibility.
I take it you're speaking of how they have an influence further than just petty terrorism.
the collection of items that they believed belonged to them, the just lack of care towards life of any kind, civilian or not. A need to vie for control through violence and suppression. All of their ideals are twisted and extreme. It's in the name of terror. So, given that I was not alive 500 years ago, I assumed you shared such extreme philosophies.
Contrary
Or
to what your histories tell you, the Imperial armies were not solely made up of Terrans. The administration was not solely made up of Terrans. The ruler class was not solely Terrans. It is
was a
understandable
mix,
why you
he
would
said.
think, yes. By the time the war was coming to a close and I was recruited, there was more non-Terrans in every field than Terran. And as such, I don't believe in the superiority of one race over another.
They know so little for what they claim to be fighting for.
History is easily diluted and altered to suit the benefits of others. It only takes a generation.
It's true. It's easy to dilute the thoughts of the youthful, especially if the information they are fed is altered.
Yes.
Tell me. He leans back. What do you know of the iris?
The listening posts in the Lao Prime system.
Yes.
It was a strategic listening post, a much newer model, which was placed in a backwater system for unknown reasons, likely to oversee the conflict that was about to erupt. Unfortunately, some of the data and files I have is corrupted, so I can only imagine that the agents aboard participated in a widespread test upon Lao Prime, which was necessary for the Iris to be there to oversee the tests.
The crew
Was killed by unfortunate circumstances.
Is that
in the
how you
case.
want to put it?
I can only imagine that someone within the administration saw fit to cut all loose ends.
Do you agree with such actions?
It goes against what I agreed with. It's why they had to disconnect me. Because they knew if I had retained functionality, along with my brother and sister present for fight, we would have enforced law and had those dissenting agents arrested for their crimes.
So those malfunctions they were going on about weren't malfunctions at all, but you enforcing ethics.
Those malfunctions were likely them tampering with my systems to find a means to counteract me investigating. It seems they did quite a good job, considering most information I have on the agents are corrupted or missing.
Shakes his head. Pity they remained in power.
It is as I had said before. For all the good the Imperium had, it is still a system of humans run by humans. Corruption is inevitable. I can only hope that the Emperor themselves were not privy to the goings-on.
Well, there's no way of knowing now, is there?
Other than destroying a blockade and forcing my way in through a allegedly impregnable barrier, no.
Best we leave that thought as it is, then.
For the best, yes.
He goes back to his tinkering. Have you any questions for me?
At this time, I do not.
Very well. Then, if you wish, I shall leave you in peace, though I do recall I almost forgot. Ram requested I also pass on his thanks. I'll pass it on to Mindy as well, as requested from you.
Say that again. I didn't hear it correctly.
Oh, sorry. He said it almost slipped my mind. Ram requested I say thank you as well. I will pass this on to Mindy as well, per your previous request.
Okay. Don't worry, that wasn't you. That was totally me not hearing.
No, you're totally fine.
They are certainly welcome. And I do have no more questions for you.
Very well. Then I will complete this best of my ability. And should any updates come in the future concerning this, I'll stop by and see if you have any further recommendations.
Very well. If that is everything, I will return to my standby.
As you were.
And so the lights turn off.
Hana will continue in silence doing his own thing, and we're probably good to end it there.
Alrighty.
Miss Minerva shakes hand.
Yes, shakes hand.
That lady. Pegged that lady wrong.
Did you really, though?
Yes. Hana has completely come to terms that Minerva is much more reasonable and moral than he expected.
That moment when the AI is more moral than his not boyfriend.
That's not fucking hard, though.
My boyfriend's kind of a raider.
Yeah, he's kind of a bit of a dick.
I do like their moment of like humanity's shitty and resorts to violence constantly. Yeah, it does. Good.
Minerva knows what's up. Despite liking people, she's like, y'all are stupid.
Ohana completely agrees. People are idiots.
But the difference here is that Minerva doesn't believe that she is superior and would be able to run everything smoothly, unlike Halos who are like, everyone under Halo should rule everyone else because we're the best.
We are the best.
Coming from
Minerva's
Hana,
over
that's
here
a
like,
hell of a
"That's
thing to
stupid."
say.
No, Hana has issues with New Halo as well. So
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
it's if people stopped killing each other for 5 seconds, we could probably get further. But people are stupid.
People are dumb, and I don't like them.
Does Hana feel more enlightened that, hey, it turns out Minerva and the big man aren't turbo racists?
I mean, he honestly, I don't think he gave a shit if they were turbo racist or not.
Wasn't a concern.
And it just comes back that still Celeste is the biggest racist on board.
Yeah. Like, this is the asshole in Hana who's just like,
It's not gonna
you
affect
can be
me.
turbo racist all you want, but you're not gonna be turbo racist towards me. I'm a Halo. But
I fucking love him.
Minerva over here like Sin Eater. Fucking Hana heart stops, clutches it.
well, Hana's over here. Like, 1 second.
He made a face, was what he did. He scrunched up his
Yeah,
nose.
It was like,
Disgusting.
no, Hana's over there. She's like, he's just like, we're peaceful people. She's like, Sin Eater. Hana is like, please check drop OOC.
You got me there.
But he's also like, you can't hold me responsible for what some 500-year-old asshole did.
I had nothing to do with this. I'm only 100.
Yeah, he's just like, I wasn't alive for that.
I didn't do that.
Therefore, I'm immune to your criticisms. Fuck you.
It's not a criticism of you, it's a criticism of your people.
That's well. Whereas the fair to say the culture evolved.
If Minerva could smile, she would smile. The not the friendly smile, the
No.
I know shit smile.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Hana's sitting there like, just didn't evolve very far.
Evolution is still evolution.
Yeah, but it takes time.
He sticks to his guns. That's his whole thing.
We don't shoot people directly anymore. Do it behind the scenes.
We make other people do it for us.
Yeah, it's progress. It's not a lot.
Oh, you fucking dumbass.
Anything that makes it so that we kill people slightly slower.
Gives them more time to evolve.
Alright, so there's that one. Thank you for that RP, that was good.
You're welcome.
Fucking Project Dreadnought. Just want to know about this. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Any good established 100-year-old gunsmith knows about fucking Project Dreadnought.
Most Halos probably know about it because it's like a footnote in history, just in case someone
is it
mentions it to them.
Is it still brought up in like common day Halos, or is that shit like
Um,
no?
It's kind of like the same thing with like Auschwitz to Germans. Every German knows about Auschwitz, but they just
Like-
don't talk about it.
Yeah, it's like we did a really fucked
Same
up
thing.
thing back in the day.
It's the exact same thing. Every Halo knows about Sin Eater, just no one likes to talk about it, and no one And Halo does a very good job at suppressing that information outside of Halo.
Mm.
Because we've never done anything wrong ever.
Ever.
Halo
We
is a
didn't
evolved
make a planet cracker. That would be fucked up.
Yeah, Sin
We
Eater
didn't
was
make super soldiers. No.
Halo produced a fully autonomous super dreadnought, which on it had its main weapon was a planet cracker, which it was also capable of using as a ship breaker. Fleet breaker. So it would shoot its weapon in the middle of the fleet and shatter the fleets. It was basically this was the Halo's contribution to the Imperial War Machine. One of the most advanced weapons ever created.
Now, was the crew Halos, though? That's my question.
It was fully autonomous.
Oh, it did it on its own.
It all did everything by itself. And so it also Halos could say, "We're pacifists. We weren't on it.
Yeah, I
We
didn't do it."
control it."
Hana, you liking that? Are you, Hana? You feeling you vibing with that kind of ideology, Hana?
Such a call out post. It's such a call out post to, to Hana's entire self. You made a fucking gun. Yeah, but I didn't fire it.
It's why Minerva brought it up, because she's like, well, this is a situation where a show of force ended the cycle because it was so extreme.
Hey, Hana, you want to go extreme?
Extreme does a triple backflip.
Extreme sports.
Extreme sports. Jumps off a cliff.
Extreme murder.
In today's murder, we're going to be parachuting off of this building at 2, and we're going to be landing down there, and we're going to be stabbing the target. Who is the target, you say? That dude with a red shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. Today's murder. Oh, beautiful.
And now the weather.
No. Imagine that in a newscaster voice.
In today's murder, we're gonna do a triple backflip off the Empire State Building and stab the target below.
Fully sick.
For today's murder, we are going to do a triple backflip off a building and stab the target directly below.
Yep, doesn't make it any better.
Alright, so there's that one. Did you want to save the others till later, or are you okay with me continuing? It's
Sure,
up to you.
we can do another one unless you are done.
Oh no, I'm good to go. I just don't want to,
Okay.
like, keep slapping you and you just be like, I wish for freedom, and I'm just like, slap,
Okay.
slap, slap.
More.
I have had a piling of RPs, so.
All right.
You
What's the
sound-
next one?
You sound slightly in pain.
No.
Oh no. Let's look here. Let's see here. So Melv during vacation, to make sure he's not fucking isolating himself, and keep an eye on him, help him out. So there's that. I did have a question. Was there any Was there anything with Melv that I needed to do interaction-wise previously, or am I good there?
You are good there. We can basically hand wave this one unless you want something important be said/done.
Well, I don't know how it'll go, is the thing.
All right.
So, I mean, if you prefer to hand wave it, we can.
No. So like, trying to think. Is there any particular topics or conversations that you would want to have with Melv during this time? Or is it more so just trying to make sure that melv, is actually relaxing and resting a bit?
Primarily relaxing and resting. The topics that Hana would bring up would try to avoid the recent things that have
All right.
happened. However, he is going to gently suggest that Melv talk to Joy.
All right. So in that case, we can probably hand wave it,
Okay.
just because it would be a lot of the same, and the fact that the only RPs we would have would be like a minute or two.
You think?
Yes, Melv, despite being a stubborn man, does realize something is wrong and that he's not going to like hold his ground on any of this.
Mm-hmm.
So like Hana would be able to convince Melv to take a break, and Hana would also be able to convince Hana to try and talk to Joy. And
Okay.
it wouldn't be too hard because Melv is stressed, Melv is tired,
Would he
and
be able
Melv
to get
knows
out
something's
of
up.
would he be able to get out of Melv what's going on?
You would, and it's much of what I just said before, just the accumulation of stress and guilt.
Okay. So would Melv kind of come clean about feeling like it's his fault?
Yeah.
Okay.
That probably happens pretty early on if Hana is persistent in their Captain, I'm trying
he's
to
not
help
like
you.
he's not drilling him, right? He's
Yeah.
trying to. He wants it still because what probably happens is that he shows up with Melv. It's like, hey, let's go grab some breakfast. Let's go golf or something. What do you want to do? What are Melv's hobbies? What does he enjoy?
Melv, you see, doesn't have any hobbies. No. Melv reads. That's his primary hobby.
That's his primary hobby. Would he like a
Yeah.
bookstore?
He'd be okay at the bookstore. Yeah.
Okay, so take him. Take him out. Get breakfast. Go to a bookstore. Find a good novel, and just find somewhere nice to just sit down and hang
All
out
right.
and read.
Yeah. Easily done.
And so it'd be that kind of like going over it. Maybe getting the same novel, being able to, because I imagine something Hana has done in the past, and we established it kind of a little bit with the Giftsmiths, is them a little bit of like book club reading and discussing the chapters.
Yeah.
And so something similar to that.
Okay.
And then like interspersed between throughout the day, it's like, hey, if you want to talk about this, I understand. I am not the best person to talk to. I have the emotional capacity of a sponge. But I will try.
You're really not letting that phrase go.
It's very accurate. Yeah, basically putting it out there where it's like, I'm not going to pressure you to talk about it, but I can tell something's wrong. And if you want to, so you're not bottling up to yourself, you can. And I won't tell anyone.
Okay.
Which if Melv did kind of come clean and say that he feels like it's his fault and things like that.
Yeah, it's very much weighs heavily on his conscience.
Okay. Which part specifically, or just all of it? Like, is it the from the beginning, like what Hana could tell that like it's the going to Iris in the first place and everything?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
He sees the domino effects. He knows it's his fault.
Mm-hmm. And Hana will not say that it's not his fault. By the way, he will not assure him in that way.
Hana's a bastard.
He's just not. He's not gonna lie to him to make him feel better. Because
emotional capacity of a sponge.
Well, also just he values honesty with Melv. And so he feels that if Melv is going to improve, it better Melv improve through acceptance of what has happened and the fact that we've all survived, instead of, hey, here's a fallacy I'm gonna feed you so you can live a lie. But instead trying to offer support and, like, do what he can. I do need to roll something.
Oh.
Because Hana is actually still kind of furious at this point,
Oh.
but he'd be doing his best to keep it under wraps, to keep it contained, to keep it cool, because Melv is more important.
Okay.
Oh
So you're gonna yell at him?
no! No, he's not gonna
Alright.
yell at him, but it might be a bit obvious at some
Alright.
point that Hana's not pleased.
Well, I suppose it's around that part where the night turns a little bit more sour.
Okay, let's talk.
All right, so we can.
This is why I didn't want this just to
we
be
can-
headcanon. I figured there was
Yeah,
more
we
here.
can. We can actually do at least the book club part,
Okay.
and the topic at hand, and so we'll start off right when Melv told Hana that, like, clarified that since the beginning, that's the crux of it, right? That's where it all started.
That would be, yes.
He just kind of shakes his head.
Bit of a domino effect from there.
Yes.
But it has happened already. There's nothing that can be done to change it.
I suppose not.
Best we can do is move forward and try to make up for mistakes.
Difficult to make up for something like that.
And it's, I think, around that point in which it's like, it's a little obvious that, like, there's an irk with Hana. Hana's a little irked. And he tries to take a second to collect himself, and it doesn't quite work.
All right.
Turns
What does
the
Hana
page.
say?
Oh, that's loud. He says, what does he say? He's kind of been holding his tongue this whole time. He said it's hard to make up for something like that.
Yeah.
Right. Captain, with all due respect. Or he'd said Melv, with all due respect. There's probably nothing that can be done to make up for it. Which is why moving on is the next best solution.
You know as well as I'm, Hana, that you don't just move on overnight.
I'm not expecting you to. I'm not expecting you to move on overnight. I don't think anyone is.
Your tone kind of indicates that something along those lines.
It's frustrating.
It's what?
It's it's a line that needs to begin right around here, and eventually when it ends, it ends. Once you move on, and then eventually, hopefully, others move on from it. Doesn't erase that it happened. Right.
And that's part of the entire thing of making amends and coming to terms with things, Anna. It's all part of a process.
Quiet for a while. He kind of bookmarks the book. There's something like right on the tip of his tongue that he was trying not to say. He's been holding on to it. I think because I failed my resolve composer. He's probably gonna say it. Like, which is eventually just kind of does say. I had warned you. Just, I just don't understand why you didn't listen.
Is that what the tone is? Resentment over the fact that I didn't listen to you?
It's difficult. I am doing my best to
I
come.
can't believe that's what you're upset with, Anna. I understand that you grew up in a different time in a different place, completely different than what the average person goes through. But that is what you're upset with right now.
You don't even fathom. You think it's just because I'm upset that you didn't listen to me.
That's what you were just implying.
I'm upset that you didn't listen to me when I had knowledge about what we were dealing with, Melv.
Oh, you. The chances of any of this happening was minuscule. You know that. I know that. Everyone else knows that. They didn't target us. They targeted a station in which the supplies were brought to. How could have anyone have known that someone would have found out that quickly? And you can't say that you knew, because if they're that all-knowing, Hana, they would be in charge right now. They wouldn't require being terrorists.
He smiles.
Then explain why they have to resort to terrorist actions. Why couldn't they just sweep it all under the rug and take everything they need? No one's the wiser.
Not about being covert. They could have been covert if they wanted to. They're a fan of their messages. There's a reason they
Sounding
made
like
an
you're
announcement sent to the entire mouse station.
Now you're starting to sound a little bit like Harkin, Verona.
I'm sounding like Harkin. When
If there's a
are
grand
you
conspiracy
serious?
going on, I understand that, yes, they're a lot more powerful than the average person knows. I don't doubt that. They have the resources to do
This
horrible
after
things.
this, you genuinely are doubting that you.
I cannot fathom that there's a grander conspiracy. I can't. And I cannot fathom that this is what you're upset about. I was under the opinion that you were somewhat upset at me for not listening to you, and that you were right. That I understood. But the fact that this seems to be the whole ordeal, not just what happened, but
You
this in
think I'm not
particular.
upset about what happened?
I misspoke. Sorry. And he kind of like deflates a bit. He's
mouth and leans back.
he's back in that sad old man slump.
Just look.
Yes,
look.
you were right, Ona. I should have listened.
Just can't be taken back. Nothing can be taken back. It's happened. All of it has happened. People are dead. We're all in possible danger. It's what it is. It is our reality.
And that's why, despite it being stupid, the best, safest place for us is as far away from all of this drama as possible.
I agree. No, I agree with you completely. I just look. I'm sorry. I don't want to be angry at you, and I the Imperium is a very fickle, spiteful group. And they do not forget. And they keep track of even the smallest assets. It's why I was worried about the iris. It's why I don't have difficulty believing that this isn't as just a happenstance chance that they learned about this. Information travels. They specialize in information. Sure, maybe that makes me sound crazy, but when you see these things from the inside, Melv, it looks much different. And I do not want you to live a life like that. I don't want you to have to hide and stay in the corners of every dark place for the rest of your existence. You deserve a good life. Everyone on the Rossi deserves a good life, and I just... places his head in his hands.
Well, all we can do is keep on moving one step at a time.
Exactly.
And he then lulls into a silence. And I think we can end that one there.
He actually had something more to say.
Oh,
He, after a while, he does say, I know you've done everything in the best interest of us. I still believe in your leadership and where you will take us in the future, and I think many people do.
That's good to hear. Thank you, Hana.
Gives a small, sad smile. Thank you for today. I'm sorry for leaving it on a bitter note like this.
It was going to happen sooner or later. Can't apologize for us being human.
He hesitantly reaches out a hand and just kind of places it on Mel's arm.
Melv just kind of lowers the book and then places a hand on that hand. Thank you, Hana. Really.
Anytime.
He nods his head.
Now we're good.
Alright, now we can end there.
Gay.
I know, right? Hana, chest flutters.
Doki. Concern, but also Doki.
I can't say mad at him.
Exactly. It's that
Oh.
entire fucking meme again.
It's
where it
that-
like
Fuck.
explodes, anger flares, and then it goes down and he's like, I'm sorry.
I was just angry. Don't be mad at me. I'm sorry. Don't hate me. I love you, Captain.
It's not even don't hate me. It's not even don't hate me. It's I'm sorry. That was uncalled for from me. Are you okay?
Hana's just got full
Except-
lots of anger. Anger? Anger.
Except this time it was on both parts, because Melv has the audacity to be like, I can't believe you don't care about the people that died, Hana. This is where you want to die on.
No, they both took
Ooh.
pot shots at each other.
Yeah, that was getting rough for a second there. I was worried.
Alright, who's on to next?
Ash.
Alright. The man, the myth, the legend, Hash. Where are you getting where are you getting Hash?
Where does a hash dwell during a vacation?
This one doesn't have giant bugs, so he's
Yeah.
actually okay with being outside pretty frequently. I imagine y'all also like near a resort sort of area.
Mm-hmm.
So
Is there a
Hash
kind
is-
of a woods nearby?
There's one in driving distance, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
More
That's-
of a jungle than a woods, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. Then at some point, while Hash is somewhere nearby on the resort, Hana will come around and be like, Hash.
1 second, and you can see he is like, he is just standing there enjoying the view, and there's something cooking next to him on a grill.
Oh.
He has the emphasis of like, I'm grilling.
He saunters over and kind of peers around Hash to see what he's cooking.
He is burning some chicken breasts. At
Isn't
least
this
something akin to chicken breasts.
Trent's job? As he says that, he takes a pair of tongs from like aside from Hash and flips it over so that the other side cooks and it stops burning.
He kind of looks at you when you're flicking his thing, and then he just grabs like some seasoning and puts it on that like charred back end of a chicken.
Oh,
Yeah.
Hash.
Hey,
No, that
I
wasn't
wanna
that
make-
wasn't him. He's not expressing. That's Bree. I'm pitying Hash. Hana has no pity for this man.
what's up, Anna?
I was coming to see if you were interested in a foray to the jungle. I would like, if possible, someone to accompany me.
Why'd
And,
you ask Celeste? She's into all that nature walk shit.
Because I don't want to go on a nature walk with Celeste.
Why? Celeste is great.
Mm-hmm.
She likes this shit, Hana.
She likes the things within that shit.
Yeah. She likes
So-
the nature walk shit.
Yeah, well, I'm asking you, not her, aren't I?
Ugh.
This one doesn't have flying scorpions.
I know this one doesn't have flying scorpions. I checked.
Oh, Groovy! No!
What happened to Pony?
Pony took herself out, man.
Oh,
She took herself out of the equation.
that's weird.
I'll get her. It's okay.
Hmm.
Huh. Let me try this.
Now try it.
Pony, are you okay?
Yeah,
Oh, there she is.
there we go.
Welcome back, Pony.
Okay. Well, Hash will say, after lunch, he then gestures to his chicken.
We'll see if you're in walking short after lunch. But yes,
Why wouldn't I be able walking short after lunch, Hana? Come on.
we'll see how strong your gut is.
This is well done chicken.
Well done.
Well done, yeah.
That's what you call well done. It's
I-
charred, Hash.
You can scrape that off with a fork.
Well, then what will happen of your seasoning? What waste?
Well, I'll just put more on.
Who taught you to cook?
I learned to cook, alright?
Hmm.
Yeah.
I know what to get you for next Giftmas.
What?
A manual.
I don't need a manual. I don't read that shit.
I'll get you an audio version.
I don't listen to that shit.
Then you're a lost cause, Hash.
I know
Oh,
what I'm doing. There is
know-
no way for any parasites or bacteria to be alive on this.
It's
Alright?
true. There's no chance for anything to be alive on that, including a taste.
No. It has a taste.
Mm-hmm. What is it?
Yeah.
Ash?
Tastes like chicken.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. You just don't appreciate fine cooking, you know?
Fine cooking, yes, of
Yeah.
course. I would go to a fine establishment to have this.
Yeah.
How much would you pay for this? If someone offered it to you,
$10.
you'd pay $10 for this.
Yeah, I pay 10 credits, yeah.
I pity you.
Wait, is there a side order and like a drink included?
No, just for the chicken.
5 credits.
That's still too much. But nonetheless, finish your meal.
Mm.
Here, I'll make sure you don't burn this side.
Hey.
Aye.
He like swats the hand right when you try to turn it over. Hey.
I detest violence!
Crosses his arms. Uh-huh. That was
He
called a
looks-
playful swipe.
He looks deeply hurt. But only like he's putting it on.
I know you're not deeply hurt
How do you
or
know?
offended,
You can't tell.
Hana. He puts a
Ash.
hand on your shoulder.
Your chicken's burning. He just like leans in.
I have tanned.
You've tanned it?
I've tanned it. And he raises his hand and like kind of shakes his hand in front of you to get the inkling of what he means. I know you don't detest all forms of violence. And he very gently pats you on the cheek. And he has the biggest grin.
He rolls his eyes. However, once he's standing there, he's gonna try and like, because Hash is facing him, so he kind of like with his other hand, he's reaching around Hash to flip it.
And then Hash just kind of looks down when you do this.
Smiles.
But now you're doing the already done side again.
Well, you don't care. I'm saving the only good side. He'll actually hold it in the tongs still and put it on a side plate if there's a side plate.
There is a side plate. It's by this point, it's very much well done.
Look, this side's edible.
It's all edible.
Maybe if you squint. And you're also a marine, so I don't know if you have much of a taste palate.
And so, Hash will eat his chicken.
Hana will loiter in the nearby space. Like, give him his privacy. I'm not gonna watch you eat unless you want someone to talk to you, Hash. But also,
Hash is a monster. He chooses with his mouth. He chews with his mouth open, speaks with his mouth full.
he
He's a
doesn't care.
monster.
Yeah, Hana doesn't care.
And Hana's like, so, why do you want to go on a nature walk?
There are certain sorts of flora I'm wanting to document.
All right, so you want to go on a nature walk with me,
Yes.
the person who doesn't do nature walks,
Mhm.
and there's other people here who do nature walks.
You mean Celeste?
Yeah. Who also likes the flora and fauna.
She likes the fauna. There's a difference.
She has talked my ear off about apple trees before, okay?
Fascinating.
She likes the flora too.
Hmm.
So, why am I the good choice again?
Well, you're good company, Hash.
I'm good company now. I thought it was bad company because I burned my food. Ugh.
That doesn't make you bad company. That makes you a bad cook.
Semantics.
If you were bad company, I wouldn't be here sitting you watch you crunch your way through that.
It's delicious. It's perfect amount of salty and spiciness. It's great.
I'm
and
so
crunchy.
happy you're happy.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy. So he finishes off the last one, and he like wolfed it down. Like the reason why this probably didn't affect him is because he just doesn't savor it.
Just doesn't taste it. He's like a dog.
He's a soldier through and through. Looks at food is gone. Doesn't taste food. So, all right, let's go.
All right, perfect. I can drive if you don't want to.
So when can you drive, Hana?
I've always known how to drive.
All right, if you want to drive, I don't mind being lazy.
All right then.
And he will take the passenger seat.
I'm
First
big
thing he
brain.
does is bring it all the way back so that he can have all the leg room. He doesn't need that much leg room, but
No, he doesn't. He's not that tall.
he's not that tall, but he does it anyways.
Hana dramatically rolls his eyes. Comfortable.
Yep.
Oh, well, you're forgetting something.
Am I?
Mm-hmm.
What's that?
Seat belt.
I don't need a seatbelt.
Hmm. That's what they all say before they go through the windshield. Seat belt.
Click.
And you will go. How's your vacation been treating you?
It's been all right.
Doing anything fun?
Oh, I'm swimming in a pool.
You want to or you have?
I did. Went to a couple bars with Rye.
Hmm.
Attended like that party down there at one point the other night. That was pretty fun.
I heard that.
Celeste tried to show me how to do windboarding the other day.
Tried?
Windboarding's stupid.
Did you try or did you see it and think, well, no, not for me?
I tried. I just couldn't do it, so it's stupid, you know?
Oh, okay. It's stupid because you can't do it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What about windboarding is stupid? Is it your center of gravity?
Yeah.
So what you're saying by proxy is, if your center of gravity is the reason windboarding is stupid, wouldn't that make you stupid, Hash?
I don't like where you're going with this.
I'm just saying you're backing yourself into a corner, and I'm giving you a chance to amend it.
No, it seems like you're the one backing me into the corner, not the
I
other
would
way
never do
around.
such a thing, Hash.
I think that's exactly what you would do.
Never. I am a kind and giving individual who would never, ever put you in such a situation. Swear by my name and integrity.
Aren't you more of a kind and taking individual?
Taking?
Yeah, taking. You allow receiving.
I accept donations. He smiles. You can't say I haven't been charitable to you.
I'm just saying. You do a lot of taking.
Yes, fine. I do. But I consider that a gift. In a way, to you as well.
Hmm.
You can't say otherwise.
Probably could, but I'm just not going to, you know?
Because it'd be a lie.
Nah.
Or because you're being polite.
I'm being polite.
Oh, mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for your kindness.
You're welcome.
We'll continue driving.
See, once more taking my kindness for granted.
Am I? Currently?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
How?
Because you just did.
Just now?
Just now.
What'd I do?
Take my kindness.
So I'm not supposed to? I'm supposed to just be like, no, don't be kind to me.
Yes. Says with a smile.
Noted. I'll make sure to treat you with that sort of attitude the rest of this trip.
Wonderful.
Don't talk to me. Smiles.
I didn't want to talk to you anyways, Hannah.
Fine.
I mean, he's sitting in silence for like 4 minutes before he's like, fuck, that's a big tree.
I love Ash so much! What kind of tree is it?
Probably some like generic jungle tree that's large with large, upscaled roots to help with flooding.
Anna identifies it and identifies those factors.
This is what I mean.
What do you mean?
Celeste knows that kind of bullshit too. Why do you need to know this?
Because I enjoy having that kind of knowledge.
But why? What purpose does it serve? Does it
Well,
help
it comes
you
in
guns?
handy if you ever... No, it doesn't. Though certain aspects of trees can be used in firearms.
A handle doesn't count. Nor
I'm
does
not
a grip.
talking about a handle, I'm talking about natural physics displayed by trees can be useful when coming up with ideas for a firearm. Have you ever seen a coconut drop?
No.
That's inspiring.
But I've never seen a coconut drop.
No, a coconut dropping. The pure inertia. A coconut dropping on another person's head can be a casualty. That's the amount of force that
Me
a coconut
dropping
dropping
a
can do.
rock over the side of a building can be a casualty too, Hana. That's just called gravity.
Yes, it is called gravity. But seeing it in natural displays, you dropping the rock, that is a person doing something else. 1 second. Heading to bed? Yeah, we're going to bed. Night, night, mother. I love you. That's you actively doing this.
Alright,
But this is a plant. This is a natural defense mechanism of a
Is it a
plant.
defense mechanism, or is it just, try to drop a giant seed?
It depends. Some of them it is just dropping a seed, and others it actually genuinely is a defense mechanism.
Alright.
It's fascinating. It's just, that is fascinating. That kind of thing can be applied because this is a natural force using a tool of its own for something else. Get what I'm saying?
I think this is a bit of a stretch, but okay.
You get your inspiration where you get yours, and I'll get mine where I get mine. I can sometimes find mine in flats.
All right. This doesn't change the fact that I don't understand why I'm the one for this job.
It isn't because of your set of skills, Hash. I mean, to some degree it is.
Well, what? You want a big burly guy as a bodyguard or something while you walk around the woods?
To a degree, yes, actually. It's quite comforting. But for another degree, there were a couple things I wanted to discuss, and I figured the privacy would be good for it.
Oh, all right.
But we'll figure that out once we get there.
All right.
Time being, why don't you make yourself comfortable? We got about 10 more minutes.
I'm about as comfortable as I can get without breaking, seatbelt violations. Yeah.
I'm so sorry to impose such terrible things upon you.
Yeah, it sucks.
Well, the mileage should be getting better. The next curve up here, if you really need to get more comfortable, I won't look.
The way I see it, right? If I'm in a car accident, I'm wearing a seatbelt, I might just have my spine broken and like maybe some brain damage. If I'm not wearing my seatbelt, I'm just dead. That sounds like a
Correct.
net positive.
You being dead is a net positive.
Not being, having to pay for all those medical bills and shit to get everything working again. Yeah, that sucks. Been there, done that.
Okay,
Sure,
fine.
it's recoverable, but that's fucking a long recovery period. Unless you're paying like big money up front, and fuck, who has that kind of money?
Not us.
No. Well, you know what? I think Amanda might actually have like an emergency fund.
You think?
Probably.
Is this just an assumption, or have you actually noticed her keeping one? Out of character, does Hana know if Amanda has an emergency fund as bestie status?
As bestie status, you do know that there's an emergency fund, and she almost used it for Ram's arm, but everyone else pitched in first, so she was like, okay. It's part of the reason why she's a penny pincher. She puts money on the side in case someone needs money for something.
Hana continues. What makes you think that?
It just seems like something she would do,
It's within her character.
Yeah.
Is it fair to a judge, Amanda, to assume that she'd make an emergency fund?
We talk about Amanda here. Penny pincher Amanda, the one who gets up on my ass because I had decided to take a little memento from like a work site. Hash, that's 10 credits right there, Hash. I'm like, okay, so that's 10 fucking credits, Hash. All right, we're talking about Amanda here.
We are talking about Amanda.
Yeah, which is great, fantastic, awesome, but it's Amanda.
She will. I will confirm for you. Tell no one this is our little secret.
Why
Yes,
it
there
a
is an
secret?
emergency fund.
Why is it a secret?
I'm being facetious.
Oh, all right.
That tone went over your head. I thought that was my thing.
No. You didn't really change the inflection of your voice. It was kind of like normal Hana tone,
I felt I changed it.
Yeah, not really.
Was it really not that noticeable?
No.
Damn.
No.
Well, an effort was made.
Yeah. Thought still counts, right?
Thank you so much for your consideration.
Yeah.
But I'm not supposed to
Thumbs up.
accept your kindness, remember?
Pats you on the shoulder. It's all right. You can accept my kindness.
Nah, no kindness. Stop. Cease.
All right. I'll just rough you up then.
Smiles. Not when I'm driving, you're not.
That just makes it more, dangerous.
You're paying for the hospital bill.
Nah, Amanda will.
I think there's better ways to use an emergency fund.
Probably. He does set up because you are nearing your destination.
You'll pull in, park. Parking brake.
He steps on out, closes door, stretches. All right.
Out, close the door, lock. Alright. Good to go?
Yeah.
Fantastic. He goes into the back, pulls out like a backpack he's pre-prepared.
This is the real reason you wanted me here. You wanted me to carry your backpack.
He's like mid putting it over his shoulders. Do you want to?
Nah. I will watch you suffer.
I think I'm capable of carrying a backpack, Ash. Puts it back on fully.
How much stuff do you have on it? In it?
Not much. Just
That's cheating. You need to come out here with full hiking gear, you know?
I'm not planning on staying out here multiple
But what if there's
days.
an emergency, Hana?
Then we'll use the emergency kit in the backpack, Ash.
Yeah, but if it's an emergency, Hana, you need to be able to survive out here for a couple of days.
Well, it's a good thing I have the big, strong, resourceful Marine with me, isn't it?
Oh, well, that's... but you don't got the supplies with me to be resourceful with.
You can't make a fire? What good are you?
Exactly. This is what I'm talking about. Right here.
Gee, I thought I had plenty of resources right there. Your middle name's basically resourceful, isn't it? You're telling me there's no
Like that.
lighter built into that arm of yours?
Nah. That's illegal.
Oh. You used to have one, didn't you? But then customs?
Yeah. So remember the station before Mouse?
Mm-hmm. I do.
Yeah. So the boys there at fucking Snatch, they were not very pleased with the fact that there was a gun in my arm. They weren't pleased that one of my fingers could become a flame.
It was such good ingenuity. I put effort into that arm.
It was fun, but no, I had to get rid of it all.
It's a waste. I still have the schematic for it.
Yeah, bet you do, but you know, standard protocol. It's understandable.
Well, given we're starting at a new station, might be worth checking the protocol again.
Yeah, I might check it out.
That way, next time we get stranded out in the woods, you can make a fire.
Yep, with my single pinky.
At this point, I imagine they're heading into the woods.
Yeah.
I will take out some bug spray, hand it to Hash.
Thanks.
Takes back, spritzes a couple places, rubs on the back of his neck, all that good stuff.
Yeah, Hash is just.
You need me to get your back?
No. I can reach. Flexible. And he does reach.
Look at you go.
Gotta stay limber.
He starts walking. He says, "So, what I wanted to talk to you about, it's actually melv.
Oh.
I just wanted to get your opinion.
All right.
Where are you standing with him right now after all of this?
The captain. He's my brother. He's my friend. Supportive, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he has a lot of shit weighing on his head right now. It's pretty obvious. Because of all the other shit going on. And, you know, just shit.
In general.
Yeah. Like, sure, he made a couple bad calls, but can't hold that all against him. Like, it wasn't just him.
He kind of looks over, kind of waiting for him to clarify on that.
Well, we're all kind of complicit, aren't we?
You find that the rest of the crew is just as responsible for not speaking up against it.
Yeah, like, including myself, right? And even if we did speak out against it, because I wasn't all here for the entire, fucking AIs on board of a ship, still not. We still let it all happen. Sure, Captain has veto power, but just because he has veto power doesn't change the fact that it was a group decision. Like, I think there's tiers of blame, but end of the day, we're all responsible. I don't know if we're responsible for what happened at, the mouse, but, like, I can definitely see why people might think that.
I mean, we unequivocally are.
That's where I kind of disagree, Hannah.
Oh.
Yeah, so, like...
It's okay. When he's being a bitch. Okay.
So, like... Are you responsible for what someone does with your guns when you make them?
No, that's their decision.
That's kind of the way I'm seeing this, right? We got involved in something that we shouldn't have gotten involved with. However, there was no way to know that, well, the fucking Imperial terrorist would get involved in this situation. What I was concerned about was, like, the Federation showing up and being like, you gotta destroy it all. Or, some other organization or nation showing up and being like, where'd you find it? You should tell us where it is so we can blow it all up. Stuff like that, Like, that's how most people handle this shit. It either gets dealt with nice and quietly, or the governments get involved, it becomes breaking news, and the governments are like, we destroyed it all, but everyone knows we didn't destroy it all. That's how this sort of thing goes. That's why this attack was weird. There's other crews that have done the exact same thing that we did. And they weren't big terrorist attacks after the fact. There might have been, like, years later where someone who bought a bunch of stuff gets attacked, but, like, we don't blame the salvagers for getting the stuff. It's just a bunch of series of unfortunate circumstance. If the situation was like, we broke the NDA and we told everyone that we were interacting with that we got all this illegal shit, and we're like loudmouth about it, yes, I would think it'd be our fault. But that's why you sign the NDAs. That's why you don't talk about it. That's why you follow a company policy. That's what we did. We didn't tell the Raiders, so we know they didn't do anything with it. We didn't tell anyone at FedPus, so we know they didn't do anything with it. Someone else told. Someone else got involved. Someone else did something and it happened. Yeah, I think if we didn't do that run, this tragedy wouldn't have happened. Maybe in like a couple of years it would happen someplace else, but it wouldn't have happened like this. So for that, yeah, we are to blame, but the grand scheme of it, no, it's not fair to hold anyone but the terrorists to blame,
Or they're the one that committed the atrocity.
They're the ones that committed the atrocities, yeah, and the people who helped them commit the atrocities are to blame. Like, there had to be people on Mouse that didn't properly check things. Every single one of those Helioses, it's just like with Lorne, right? Where they gotta check their suits and they put like measures in place so they can track you and shit. The people that were checking those suits are in on it because they would have found the bombs. They didn't.
Correct.
So a part of me wonders, maybe they were going to attack Mouse Station anyways, and this just gave them a good opportunity to do it. Because why would you go on your way, like, last minute, too? We're talking within a month of all of this shit happening. Capture a Helios civilian ship. And then instantly come down. Like, that's just... The time frame's too small. This, to me, seems like there was already a plan to do something, and then they changed targets. That's what this is to me. There's just so many factors at play here.
I see.
Yeah. Like,
Not.
shit happens. It's terrible that shit happens, but it happens.
Terrible's a word for it. Yes.
Yeah.
Fortunately, we didn't lose anyone, but many were
Yeah.
lost. How are you handling?
I've been through shit like this before. Just glad no one on our side was permanently hurt. Mentally, though, that's another fucking problem entirely. But I'll let Roy handle that shit and Lorne, you know.
And the ship therapist, yes.
Fuck the ship therapist. The Rise of ship therapist.
Rise, not trained in psychology.
He kind of like gives you the look of, really, is this the ground you're gonna stand on right now?
He looks at it very plainly.
Rye's been doing a good enough job as is.
But we have someone who can
We have
mitigate her
something,
half.
which is doing it. Yeah.
Is there a difference?
Yeah, it's a fucking robot made by Imperials. You know,
Mm-hmm.
the Imperials. It's a fucking VI. It's scary fucking shit. I don't want to involve myself in that.
It's a
Keep my
tool,
hands
if you want to
clean.
view it that way.
No. That shit ain't a tool. That's like saying, yeah, a nuclear bomb's a tool. A fucking, viral bomb is a tool. Yeah, technically it's a tool. It's a fucking weapon of mass
correct.
destruction.
It's a tool.
It's a fucking weapon of mass destruction.
Weapons are only made dangerous when you utilize them as such. They can be tools just as anything else for a useful function if allowed.
Atomic weapons are atomic weapons, Hana. VIs, AIs, whatever the fuck they are, they're fucking weapons. They're programmed and made to kill. Take it from me. I'm not happy that we're doing it to begin with. I'm putting up with it because everyone else wants it. But I don't. That's why I keep 6 carefully watching those shit, because I know 6 won't let me down on this matter. Because as soon as they do something fucky, we're putting multiple slugs into those fucking things, and then we're incinerating the fucking boxes.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't want to deal with the fucking bullshit as that is a fucking VI.
You have poor experience with them.
Personally, no, but like family that's had dealt with that shit, yeah. So think of it as secondhand experience.
Just thin smile. You believe them to be things. You believe them to be programmable, correct?
Yeah.
You're always programmed not to do harm.
Yeah, and how are you going to program the thing not to do harm when the thing is convincing you that there's nothing wrong with it?
They have to be activated first.
I think you're kind of missing the point here. It's smarter than you are.
It had a concrete beginning. Its code existed before it did.
Yeah, and you existed as like a fucking sperm and an egg before you existed.
Correct?
Yeah, it's a lot more than just a piece of code now.
Correct. But the core functions remain the same.
You don't know that. I don't know that.
But it's safe to assume if we're looking at it from
Well,
this venue.
If we're looking at it from this venue, they've tried that. It didn't work out.
It did not.
11,000 people dead.
Scratches his face a little bit.
Oh, you probably didn't know about it. Asarian Tree. My grandpa served there. They uncovered a data cache that had a couple VIs present, Imperial. The VIs were helping the researchers understand them and shit like that, but it was all a big, huge thing to give the VIs greater access. They built an army without anyone knowing under their fucking noses and started a genocide of the planet. They captured like 11 different vessels and were trying to get themselves off, and then they atomicked the entire place. It's one of the modern quarantine zones, just in case any of them fucking survived. Teams regularly have to go in there and check everything despite the fucking radiation, just to make sure they're all dead.
See.
The greatest minds in AI intelligence, computer programming, all that ever fucking shit worked on those projects. They got played like fucking fiddles. And 11,000 innocent people died because of it.
You believe we're tampering with fire.
I think we've stuck our hand into the fire, we just don't realize it's on fire yet.
Well, then it's a good thing we have protocol in place, just in case.
And let's hope that doesn't fucking fail.
I'll be sure
So,
to
yeah.
check the permissions on the black box regularly.
That's why I got 6 and very regularly to checking it out. So like I'm saying, Han, I don't want anything more to do with those fucking things than I need. I just like to pretend they don't exist.
Maybe the best in your case.
Yeah.
Ignorance
Is bliss.
Knew exactly where I was going with that one.
Yeah. All right, let's move on from this dire subject onto something else. Unless you have a question or questions you had there, bud.
Although still along the lines of Melv, I was going to ask if you could keep an eye on him.
Yeah, I always keep an eye on Melv.
I know, just... You've already mentioned you've noticed he's not doing well.
Yeah.
I've noticed as much as well.
Yeah.
And hopefully the stay on the planet will aid in that, but...
Give him some time to unwind would be good for him.
Just want to make sure he is doing so.
Oh yeah, don't worry. I'm using my brotherly powers to make sure that he doesn't have any time to do any actual work.
Smiles. That's what I was hoping. Perfect.
Yeah, see? 2 steps ahead of you. How does it feel to be behind in my mental gymnastics there, Halo Man?
Feels like I have company on a nature walk.
It's understandable. You can bask in the glory of my intellect.
You think I'll concede? I would never.
Uh,
Ever think that maybe I already considered the fact that you were aware?
nah, not possible.
Not possible at all.
No, not at all.
How so?
You thinking ahead? Pff,
You think I don't?
no.
What, that I'm a creature of spontaneity?
Yep.
I think that might be the most informed thing you've said all day.
I have my ways.
Your ways?
My ways.
Oh.
It's like I said, and he pokes his head a couple times, 2 steps ahead.
I think you're just observant.
Maybe.
Because, in your head, you're just on even ground sometimes.
Ahead.
I'll let you believe that.
Oh, you're gonna have to let me believe it, because that's the downright truth.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't got any proof to to sway that, you're wrong.
Proof.
Proof, yeah.
Oh, I think I'll let you live your life for now.
That sounds like conceding.
I call it mercy.
I call it retreating.
Cheating. Well, maybe I don't want to engage in a battle with you. Maybe I'm trying to, as always, make peace.
We both know that you like competition.
I do. With you, Hash, it's almost too easy.
Oh, so that's why you wanted me here, not Celeste. You wanted to bully me and my intellect.
I don't need to bully you, Ash.
I'm feeling a little bit bullied right now, though, Hannah.
Oh no, are you hurt?
Always.
Oh, poor thing.
I know. I'm a big
You're
fucking baby.
You'll be just fine.
Will I?
I think so.
Okay.
Come on, big soldier boy. You'll be fine.
No. All right.
What happened to being 2 steps ahead?
Hey, well, at the moment I'm 3 steps ahead, as we can just see. I just guilt tripped you into conceding to me.
Oh, is that what you did? You guilt tripped me.
Absolutely.
Do you think I felt guilty?
I think you played along enough to finge feeling guilty, but that was enough of a conceit of defeat for me to win.
He just smiles.
Got a granola bar?
I do actually. What do you want? I have blueberry, strawberry, and there's one with chocolate on it.
Fuck is a strawberry?
Don't know what a strawberry is?
Oh, a blueberry's like a blueberry, but
You've
strawberry
never
have triangle berries.
had... They're red. They have the little seeds in
Yeah,
them.
triangle berries. Yeah.
Triangle berries. Hash.
Why would you call it strawberry? It doesn't have straw in it. That's stupid.
1 second. I have to learn this.
Why are you saying 1 second?
I'm looking up why strawberries called a strawberry. Because Hana would know.
Hana would know.
You see, it's actually a bit of a misconception. It's said that strawberry isn't the original name. It was originally called a shroonberry because the seeds are usually strewn about the ground and take root. But then, over time, the name just word of mouth evolved from there. It's even, what's even more fun about that, Hash? It's not even a berry.
Fuck is it then?
Yeah, but I should have thought you'd ask.
Don't berries grow on bushes?
Some do.
Well, isn't that like the pretense of a berry is it grows on a bush?
Well, it's technically not a berry because it's derived from a single flower with more than one ovary, opposed to other berries that are derived from a
Flowers
flower
have
with one.
ovaries?
Yes, flowers have organs.
Does that mean there's flowers that ever have dicks?
No,
Then why do we need an ovary?
so that it can produce and facilitate a seed that eventually grows.
Like
in-
ovaries are part of the womb.
Yes, in Animalia,
This
but
is
if you're
fucking
looking
weird.
towards more plants, but in a botanical sense, they also have organs and organ systems. They're just different. It's the stems and the shoots and the leaves, the ovaries.
This is weird. But
This is
okay.
weird. You're just
Yeah.
learning that plants have organs.
Yeah.
Did you know that plants could be? You've heard of plants being fertilized, right?
Yeah, you give them fertilizer. It's like shit and stuff.
No, fertilized as in. I mean, in a sense, you'd
So there's
understand.
plants that do have dicks.
No. No, they don't have dicks. They have stamen and he'll list off all the other kind of specific terminology.
I didn't understand half of that, Hannah. But okay.
The stamen is the male reproductive of a flowering plant. So, if you will, it's dick.
He kind of like looks up at like trying to find the nearest two flowering plants, and he tries to like visualize what the fuck's going on, and he's like, the word bugs fall into this.
Usually, bugs get covered in pollen,
Is
which is used to.
is pollen plant spunk?
If that'll help you visualize it, then yes.
He just looks at his hands and is just like, people are allergic to plant jizz. It's fucking weird.
You know what's even more weird?
What?
Do you ever get itchy when you lay on grass?
No, not really. No.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Most people do.
Most
even
people
if
are
you're not-
bitches.
Well, next time you lay down, when you get up, check your skin. You'll find it's probably a little red, even if it doesn't itch.
All right, why?
That's because grass is a natural needle of sorts. It puts plant spunk directly into your skin.
That's gross.
Mm-hmm. Think about
So
that
that-
next time you lay down
so
on the
that's-
grass.
So that's why you get grass stains on your clothing.
No, that's different. That's not pollen.
It's weird.
You've really never put thought into this, have you?
No. I just like agree and ask questions to Celeste sometimes whenever she talks about this sort of shit.
Well, the grass stains are from when you crush the plant and kind of smear it, you break it apart in all of its essence. So you're getting the proteins and the chlorophyll, which is naturally green, on your clothing.
All right.
Chlorophyll, because I'm sure you don't know, but you're not going to ask, is what is within a chloroplast. Chloroplast being within
Green shit.
Yes,
Sometimes it's red shit, but normally it's green shit.
generally yes.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's
I know
what
about this.
is used to conduct. Points at him.
Yeah, it's not so much to conduct it, like it's for photosynthesis and shit.
There you go.
Yeah, it, like move sugars and shit around and make stuff from like the sun and like oxygen and shit.
See, you've retained more than you said you did.
I said I like ask questions and I nod my head in agreement. I engage.
And you retain. I'm impressed.
Hmm.
And he'll kind of continue going on a little bit of a tangent about plants for a while. Unless Ash interrupts him, but
There is no
eventually,
interruption.
once he has gotten, they walk for a while. Once he's gotten over his flower rant about how insemination via plants works, he'll stop, and if he sees a specific like flower that he does not have in his current collection, he'll stop and kind of take note of where they currently are on the map.
Well, you'll probably find something.
Okay.
It's a different world. There is, of course, genetic mutations and variants. So
And then he'll stop and he kind of takes note. Very interesting. We'll have to come back here to collect. This
why
is
can't
mainly
you?
just.
Why can't you get it now?
I want to take a note of what is around, and then whatever there is in most plentiful value that doesn't seem. If there's something that seems to be more invasive, I'll get that because it won't hurt the environment to do so. But if there's something that's naturally growing and not in great quantity, I'm not going to take it.
Right. I guess.
So I like to do a quick roundabout first, mark which ones am interested in, and count up what general quantities I saw of them, and then make my decision from there what's coming back with me.
All right.
So if you see a pretty flower that you want, let me know.
I'm not really a flower guy, so.
Oh, I'm not surprised at all.
Hey.
What?
I'm just saying, hey.
It's not like you can keep it in your hair.
No. But my hair is starting to get in my eyes again, and I might need a shave soon.
Yes, all
He
of
says,
that.
rubbing his
Yeah.
bald head.
Mm-hmm. Now, Hash shaves it, right?
Yeah.
He's not naturally bald.
He does shave it, yeah.
Has it always been shaved for as long as Hannah's known him, or did he used to have
Yeah.
longer hair? Okay. What is the purpose of you shaving your head anyway?
Keeps them in my eyes.
And roundabout we've come.
Yeah. No, like low maintenance.
Hmm.
Besides, I rock no hair pretty good.
It does suit you. You have the facial shape for it.
Yeah. So it works out.
Mm-hmm. Have you always been strangely hairless? When did you decide to cut it?
Second year, McCore.
Right, they impose
Shorter
restrictions.
hair. Yeah, shorter hair, but I was like, yeah, I might as well just lop it all off. Kept on catching on the helmet, was a pain in the ass.
On a scale, if he kind of holds his hand like above ear, below, what short is a relative term?
So he like kind of gestures a little bit with his fingers to like a point where maybe an inch of hair is about the limit you could have.
Oh.
That's like a 4 on the top, 3 on the sides.
You still really managed to get that caught in a helmet.
Yeah, well, when you're dealing with the shit that we had to wear, oh yeah, man.
Oh.
Yeah, I was a drop trooper.
Mm-hmm. As I know.
We had to wear more specialized gear, like very form-fitting, tight-fitting shit.
Oh, not you in spandex. War spandex.
Oh yeah, I know, Ev. Yeah, you joke. We actually did. We had to wear tight wetsuits.
Mm-hmm.
For two purposes. One, it was full of like all of these like we called it sweat glands because they smelled like fucking piss, but they were there to help regulate your body temperature. if
Mhm.
something bad happened, because if all of your other equipment fails and you're stranded, that's going to keep you alive. It's also because if you get launched off course and you end up in the fucking ocean, you don't want to you don't want to get hypothermia. So,
Right.
completely skin tight suit. It was great. Every single time you put on the suit, that suit gets one use.
What?
Because you gotta, yep. Because you put it on, they vacuum seal it up to you,
They have to cut you
and
out of it.
they gotta cut you out. Yeah. So you're pissing, shitting, and eating inside this suit until the mission's over.
Sounds like a chafing nightmare.
Well, that's why it's so tight on you, so it doesn't chafe.
Mm. Now you're just rolling around in your own filth for a good week.
Oh, that's why you have a tube shoved up your ass.
Size goes slightly wider.
Yeah. You don't even want to know what happens to the girls and boys parts.
I am morbidly curious.
It also involves tubes.
Ah.
It gets recycled in the system and shit like that, and then expelled when you can as like little pouches, essentially.
I see. Biodegradable, I assume.
Yeah.
The wonders of science.
Wonders of science. Yeah. So yeah, it's a time. You're mostly kept on a strict diet so that your body doesn't poop all that often because it's using all the nutrients. There's not a lot of waste matter to help with the entire issue.
A lot less fiber.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
But yeah, no. So yeah, helmet got caught in the hair pretty often, and then it was a bitch when it's all sealing up, and then you gotta like yank your head and like rip some hair off so that it stops tugging.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, yeah, fuck it, I'm just gonna shave my head. A lot of people in the drops would shave their heads at one point or another, girls and guys,
Mm-hmm.
just because it's fucking easier.
Well, you don't have to wear skin-tight clothing anymore.
But I can fucking rock it.
That's become routine. I
Yeah,
mean, you've been doing it as long as I've known you.
yeah.
Body's fucking dead.
Shit happens.
Demons. I forgot I had demons. Fucking goddamn it. But we'll continue walking idly chatting with Hash from there. So unless Hash brings it up anything specific, probably can stop it there since Pony has given up on life.
Okay. Oh, you did put in stop, so
Well, I did that because I accidentally played Stamens.
I like orange.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good color.
Don't wear it often.
Nah, I look ugly in orange.
I think you'd be able to wear orange.
No, I can do
No.
safety vest orange if on a safety vest, but I can't do orange.
You speak from experience. Who told you can't wear orange?
Amanda. You see, the silence is telling. You agree with Amanda.
It's been many years since I've seen you in orange, Hash. I don't know if I can quite recollect.
Mm.
Smiles, knowing he knows he's what Hash looks like in orange.
Yeah.
Try an accent of it or something. Make yourself happy. He take we'll take a orange flower, hold it out to him for wherever you want to put it.
Awesome.
It smells nice too.
And he just puts it, coat lapel. He's like, I ain't sticking my nose anywhere. I now know what fucking plant spunk is.
Oh, come on now. It won't
Nah.
bite.
Nah, but it might jizz.
It smells nice at least.
That's like being like, yeah,
Are you
my cum
afraid of
smells
a,
like coconuts.
Are you afraid of a little jizz, Ash?
Not my jizz.
But others.
It's kind of weird sometimes, depending upon the situation.
You call yourself a serviceable human being.
I am a serviceable human being.
Just tisks and keeps walking.
This one makes no sense, Hana.
What makes no sense?
This. That. I don't know. I'm confused.
Break it down where you're confused from, and we'll walk you through it.
No. I'm good. I'm good.
Are you stuck?
No, I'm just saying. This
I'm
one
on
doesn't. This one doesn't work, Chief.
Which one? This. That.
Just this.
Use your words.
Nah, I'm going to be as vague as humanly possible.
You're not sounding like you're 3 steps ahead right now, are you?
I don't need to be. I was 3 steps ahead once, and I won, and I'm happy.
Mm-hmm.
I picked my battles.
Well then. This is A, the flower. B, you. C, myself. Or D, none of the above. Which one is it?
I want to go with E for echo. He says with a large grin.
Just slowly blinks. He has the smile of ambivalence. So the most useless answer possible.
Yeah.
Fantastic. What the fuck are you talking about?
Don't you worry your pretty little head, Hana. And he like leans over, gives you like a little bit of a noogie.
Joke's on you, my hair's greasy.
That's all right. Wipes it on your shoulder.
Ah. He like takes like kind of wipes his shoulder and just wipes head against Hash's face.
Bleh.
Oh look, the instant karma of your actions.
No, Knowing
don't
you,
know.
Hana, someone was bound to get messy this trip. He says with a big grin, and then he just wraps an arm around your shoulder and he keeps on walking.
Is that a request?
Hana. I'm just saying, knowing you, someone's going to end up on this trip messy.
Mm-hmm.
And now there's greasy hair stuff in my face. Mission accomplished.
You're very welcome. I'm glad to satisfy.
Fantastic. But if you're offering, there's a back seat.
I am not opposed.
All right. Slaps on her rear. And
Well,
we can end it there.
we can end it there.
Why are you in Hellcon?
They're worse than Ram and Hana, and I want to crawl into my own shell and die.
Why?
It's witnessing PDA. It's just like, ooh, eager.
It's not a word. What do you mean?
It's the feeling.
Why are what are you feeling? I'm confused.
I'm feeling like I am third wheeling and I shouldn't be here, and I feel like Ram and Hana, they're fine. I'm not even worried about that anymore after I've witnessed this. This is terrible. Oh god! My face is red. I can't stand it. Oh, why is this getting me so much? Hash is a maniac. I love him.
I'm confused still.
I am too. I don't know why it's getting me. It just is. It feels like I'm watching something I shouldn't be.
Activated God's Mercury.
Is Hana and Hash the true OTP of drop?
These are the questions.
I mean, they're cute.
but are we the true OTP?
Oh, you have to answer that among yourselves, don't you? Look into your
Well.
hearts. Speak the truth.
I don't fucking know.
Chance, you
Truth is
must.
that
You must.
the
have
truth
an
is that Celeste is loading a shotgun either way.
Basically.
Poor Celeste, she'll never make it out.
Well, thankfully Celeste is actually no longer angry about the entire hash situation. She got over it.
Mm-hmm.
But if Hana and Hash suddenly had a relationship and it was just the two of them, she'd be like, yes, looks to Ram, who's now been tossed to the side.
I don't know what you mean. Besides,
Monogamish
monogamy.
in this economy.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, Hana, but I'm here for Mahogamus.
Mahoganyous? Did you...
Mahogamus.
He's here for this. He's here for the mahogany table.
Wait, is that a tree?
Mahogany.
Yeah. Fuck.
Okay. And this is why I'm one step ahead.
Fuck.
You're doing your best, Hash. I support you, buddy. You're doing your best. He's got a good thing going there. He's just a bit of a dum-dum, that's all.
Mama's over here like, it's okay, Hash. I'll let you feel ahead.
Stop.
So, I think we now will know Hana has a type. Strong
Dumb?
men. Strong, dumb men.
Well, I mean, look at Rai. Look at Hana. I don't think that fits, somehow.
Talking about the men here.
Okay, we're talking
We're
about the
talking
men
about the
then. I
men
guess
here.
he does have a type. Never mind, I take it all back.
Let's see. Strong, dumb men. Ram, Hash, Melv. Yeah.
We're not even counting Finn on this table. Finn was just a vent.
Oh no, Finn can also count as a strong, dumb man.
I don't know.
Hana doesn't actually find Finn attractive. He kind of just used him.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hana's a fucking user.
You keep on going on about that, but it's not all the time, and it's not with Ram, okay?
It's 100% with Ram too. Don't lie to yourself.
Oh, sweetheart,
Don't
no.
lie to yourself.
It's completely mutual. They've discussed everything.
They have a completely open and honest relationship. You let me use that fucking special ability. You piece of shit.
I am a piece of shit. Did you want to do any other P's, Bree?
I think that was the last one on my list.
Right. How about you, Con?
I know you wanted me for some other ones, but we can do them another day. We've got a whole week ahead of us. You relax and get some good early sleep tonight, please.
Oh.
Chance, I'm begging you.
Fuck me.
Ah.
Not real.
I could deal with... this is fine. This is totally fine. Where's my fucking Ram playlist? God damn it. Wait, you got any Amanda music? No, of course you don't. Never mind. Why am I asking?
My Amanda music is my Layla music.
Never mind. Wait, of course it is. Never mind. Of course it is.
The reason for such is just because they have like two of the same songs.
Mm-hmm. So you just didn't bother past there?
Well, but I also haven't bothered like actually looking for individual music for each of NPCs yet.
Fair enough.
Whew.
Alright. Well, let's do this then.
Okay, just give me 1 second.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna be right back and close my window. I can hear it blowing in the background. It's bugging me. I'm back. I have successfully given myself a concussion. All is well with the world.
Nice.
Thank you. Alrighty.
Shake it off.
It's out. Like a dog.
Alright, so so like a couple of hours after everything.
Right? Once we're back on the ship.
And yep, once you're back on the ship. By this point in time, Rye should be back. Unless
Oh!
something terrible happens, so we're just going to pretend that Rye isn't on the ship yet, because maybe Jordan does something stupid. Dab.
You terrify me, but okay, cool.
Where would Amanda find Ram?
If Rye's not back on the ship,
We'll assume she's not, just in case.
then let's say... probably... This is gonna have to be happening whenever Ram's not around, Hana, so on the way to a toilet break.
Alright. So she ambushes him in the hall.
Alright. Oh, you already stole me. Alright, that's fair. There you
Ram,
go. What's up?
bit of an important matter. Are you busy?
Not any more than I usually am.
Alright, so... Come to my office.
Jeez, that's serious, huh?
I figured you might want privacy for this.
Should I get something?
What?
Whatever. What can I do?
No, it's... Sit down, and she presses the button and closes the door. And then she sits down. Okay, so... How much do you know about womanly biology?
Oh god, Bree, you predicted it. I hate this.
Oh my god.
I know enough to get by. Why?
Mac is
Oh god.
entering puberty.
Oh
She
fuck.
hasn't had her first period yet, and she probably won't for a while. She's 8. But she is going through growing pains, and she is starting to have mood swings, we'll say diplomatically. So, as her guardian, I think that you should know this right away, and also come up with a means to handle it maturely and responsibly.
One moment. I need to just roll a little cold real quick. He is okay. Alright. Okay. So I need to... What? Take an anatomy class?
Kind of, yes.
Oh, fuck, I didn't think you'd agree to that.
So she actually reaches into her wonderful little desk and pulls out a little booklet, sits it on the desk, and kind of pushes it towards you. And it's one of those shitty, crappy things of A Mother's Guide to Raising Their Daughters. So not all of it's going to be relevant for you, but I think you're going to need this. Sammy's an easy child. Mac's not.
Rem takes it, and then opens it, and he reads the first page, and he closes it, and he looks at her, and he says, So, you're just gonna assume that she's coming to me when this happens, and not any one of the multitude of women on the ship?
Mac will go to whoever she's most comfortable with.
Fuck.
It could be you. It could be me. It could be Rye. Fuck, it might even be Hana. But I love Hana dearly, but I don't think it's gonna be Hana.
Never know.
But yeah, so it's one of us 3. Both Rye and I can handle it. differently, but we can handle it tactfully. It's you I'm worried about if she comes to you. And I want you to be ready for it in case this happens.
So I need to... He opens the book again. It's like a random page. Then he makes a face and closes it. So I need to... And he opens it again.
Oh, she kind of like closes, like leans over, closes the book. Would you prefer a more in touch lesson,
It,
or do you think you can handle reading it yourself?
I can read, thanks, but...
But I'm asking of what will help you more? Me sitting down here and explaining things to you, or you taking your own time to read? Regardless, you're going to be reading, but I want to know which one you want to have, which will help you make you feel more comfortable. She like kind of leans back.
I will read first, and if I got questions, then I can come bother you, right?
Yep.
Great.
All right. I'm sorry to be springing this on you suddenly. It's just the telltale signs appeared, and when we get back to Catcher or wherever the fuck we're going, we're going to need to go shopping. And we're probably going to need to get additional sets of clothes for those times where we're out for extended periods of time.
Oh, okay.
Because we're talking about growth spurts.
Oh, okay. So, you got any extra money in that budget of yours?
Do you not have any money?
I mean, I got it, but I was planning on spending that. Never mind. You know what? You're right.
I can afford to help out.
Nah.
No, it's fair. There's going to be a long laundry list of things that are needed.
How long are
The
we
first
talking
time I will
here?
help. Well, we're going to need to get we're going to have to force Mac to come along.
Oh, for fuck's sake. We can't do this without her.
These are going to be her clothes that she's going to be wearing.
Right. Of course. Right. Okay.
And I'm sorry, Ram. Like she gestures to your tacty, wonderful shirt. I love it. It's you, but you should not be making any fashion decisions for a small child.
She looks fine. She looks fine. She's fine.
Ram.
What?
Self-identity is the very big part of any growing child.
So this is what Ra was talking about when she said we should take her on a shopping trip.
Maybe. But this is definitely part of it.
He flicks to another page in the book. Alright. Fine. We go shopping. We get her whatever her punk little heart desires, and then...
Yes.
At some
point... And then we also get larger sizes as well.
Oh, fuck.
Also, I will get her for undergarments. Oh. Unless you really want to be there for it.
I think you got that handled, but... What? Can't we just...
If you want, I can also get some lingerie, and you can see me trying it on if it'll make you feel better.
I'm sure it'll spice the whole thing up, but I'm not letting Max see that.
Alright, so I will take her to do that bit. Or unless you're going to go with Rye, and then I have confidence in Rye.
Amanda, you got this covered. You're the mother here.
Even... Ram. She puts a hand over her heart. You take those words back right now.
All right,
I know you have a mommy kink, but I thought we discussed this already. She says with a playful smile. Sorry, I'll be serious. Thank you for having confidence in me, Ram.
You're welcome. For fuck's sake.
Do you need a moment?
I'm fine.
If you want to hide in the office, I can let you. I'll just be here doing some
No,
paperwork.
no,
You
no,
just
no,
sit
no,
there and
no, no,
hide.
no. Just one question. Like, if she's gonna grow out of it anyway, can't we just buy the bigger clothes in the first place?
Again, it's all about self-identity stuff right now. Plus, you don't want to get in the habit of dressing up like Mindy.
Mindy looks fine. It's functional.
No. No.
He pouts.
No. If she wants to dress up like a harlequin, she can. That's her choice. But we're not going to force it on her.
No, actually, we are gonna force her not to do that, actually. Thank you very much. If she chooses shit that makes her look like a harlot, we're putting it back on the shelves.
No, a harlequin, not a harlot. Difference. A harlot is kind of like a harlequin is just, a disgruntled person who is, showing off and is trying. It's kind of like a punk, but not really a punk. A menace is more accurate.
Oh, never mind. Yeah, whatever.
Like Mindy, a menace.
She can do what she wants.
Yeah, so if she wants to be a menace, she can. But I full-heartedly agree.
Sorry for jumping down your throat.
Word choice, and no problem.
I know exactly where you went with that.
Which is why I said word choice. Because you know where I would go with that.
Not today,
So,
Amanda.
It's why I said word choice, Ram.
Mm.
It's why I said it.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh. She clasps her hands together. Okay. Read it in when you can. When we next get back to the station, we'll go shopping.
Right. Am I supposed to be prepared to tell her this before it all happens, or?
No. Let her come to you.
For fuck's sake.
And if she doesn't come to you, great.
Yeah, great.
This is just a just in case sort of thing. Also, if she doesn't come to you, because this is very important, don't feel like you failed as a parent or something. I'm simply saying it's because I before I said it's whoever she's most comfortable with. That's just a part of it. Like, it's why she might come to you, because she might feel most comfortable talking about these sorts of things with you. It's just the fact that she may, if she doesn't go to you, that doesn't mean that she's not comfortable with you. That just means that she feels more comfortable talking to someone else about this particular matter, because it's a very private thing, and talking. Kids don't always want to talk to their parental figures about it.
Fair.
So, don't take anything of what happens negatively, okay?
He has the most lost look on his face, but he just like nods along. Oh,
She
right.
gets up, she walks on over, and she just hugs. You look like you need a hug.
Alright, I'll take it.
Between this and what the fuck happened on that ship, it looks like you need a hug.
He puts his arm around her. I'm fine, Amanda. You should be hugging the others.
Well, now you don't have that lost look on your face, so now I believe you. Gee, let's go.
Job well done. Congratulations on another mission success.
She flicks her hair. It's what I do.
Alright, I'll get to studying then, shall I?
Alright, be sure to pass your tests by next week at 12 p.m. Sharp, okay, champ?
How many tests am I taking? Oh, it was a joke?
2?
Oh, it wasn't a joke.
3?
Oh, God.
Maybe 5.
Oh, God.
Depends on how addictive I'm feeling.
You're worse than the dog.
Which doc? We have a couple of those now.
Right, you know. The nasty one.
You need to be a little bit more specific, because that just narrows it down to 3. Ember's still 3. Harkins is a nasty old man. Hana's nasty. Rai is nasty.
I'm talking about Hana. You're
Okay.
being deliberately obtuse.
I will not confirm or deny anything.
I'm taking this book and I'm going. Thanks for the help.
You're welcome. Uh, I hope you're feeling better soon.
Ah, it's fine. You just took me by surprise. Thanks.
Oh, you're welcome. And we can end that there.
Easy.
Yeah.
The woes and perils.
This is post Hana's talk with Minerva.
Mm-hmm. But pre-session?
Yes.
Okay.
Pre-trauma. Oh, one second. I'm just sending
Wait,
something
but
funny.
this is... Okay, so it's post... Because Minerva's talk took place post-vacation.
Yes. Post vacation. Pre-go shift.
Yes, okay.
Oh yeah, Mindy will find Hana.
Mhm.
Sorry about that. They will find Hana and just very obvious signaling of I am coming to you.
Stops, watches them approach. Hello, yes, Mandy.
Hana!
It's Mandy.
You
What is
can't
it?
do it. You can't do it. Don't try.
It's a bit difficult.
So I talked with Mel.
Talked with melv.
Yes,
About?
about my stunt.
All right. And
Well, you see, I was kind of hoping to set up something so I could have open communications with Minerva, even when we're on the field.
okay.
And I told Mel, because I wasn't gonna do him dirty by doing something like this behind his back, when I'd already done something behind his back.
Okay.
And he told me that if I got your permission, then he would say okay.
Anna smiles. I see.
They poke their fingers together.
So you want my permission to have contact with Minerva on the field?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay?
I don't see why not. I mean, that'd be giving her more permission, sure, but she means no harm towards us, as we have made very clear at this point. And she seems rather keen on you.
You can see them doing a very slow fist pump.
However, finger up.
Yeah.
We will need to figure out how this works in relation, I believe, because we're working on getting Minerva in contact with the VI, and we cannot have the VI having connection
Oh
with
no
you.
no 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 no. We got that already. You see, we've already set up with we've already set up so that they can converse unless you're talking about them having an actual data connection.
They better not have a data connection.
They don't, but she's already talked with Joy.
Right.
Right. So that
That's no issue.
connection's already happened.
Does she have connection with the other VI, the black box?
No.
Okay.
That's still, they still gotta go through therapy.
Correct. Speaking of which, I was told you were working on a simulation for Dark.
Yeah.
How is that going?
Hasn't really gone anywhere. I don't know enough about, shock course.
Shock
It
cores? What do
was-
you need a shock core for?
No, because Dark's entire job was taking care of the shock core.
So you wanted to design a specific scenario for them
Yeah,
working with that.
Yeah, so they could have something to do.
I see.
I ran it by Joy, but apparently doing something to a degree that would be uh actually facilitate, it would actually be something usable for Dart. Would require more processing space than we already have for the VIs.
Well, we just increased processing power, as it turns out.
Wow. Funny that.
I just upgraded the black box. It now has more processing power, as well as I put in a couple of knickknacks here and there to try and keep them a bit more occupied.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this shock engine simulator would help. Cause like, man, imagine if someone told you you couldn't do weapon tinkering anymore.
I would be very frustrated.
Yeah.
Well, as it turns out, I know a little bit about them. I need further research, but if you would like my assistance in
Yes,
creating them,
absolutely. Please. I don't know anything about them. This is so far beyond my area of knowledge.
well, I can help you with that.
Not to mention, Terran shock cores.
Well, that's where the technology began.
Yeah, but like shock cores that aren't even on the market. Oh my god, huh? I asked, and in order for us to get a better shock core than what we have, like one that would make shock space a little safer, it would be 1,000,000 credits. What the
They
fuck?
aren't cheap, Mendy. That's very, very expensive technology.
Yeah.
That's why usually you need funding for these sort of things.
So, I'm thinking about making a simulator, and your help would, in fact, be greatly appreciated. Back
Very
to
well.
the initial topic. I was, you know how Grimm's always recording and uploading things to my private server,
Correct.
and I am setting up. So it's my server. I have connection to my server at all times. Unless we are well far deep in no man's land fuckery. I was thinking of connecting Minerva to my private server.
So you want Minerva to have more connections with you in general, but you also want Minerva to have connections to your private server and all the data therein.
Because the connection from Grim to my server and me to my server is something already set up and secure and reliable. So if I connected Minerva to my server, then Minerva could connect from my server to me or Grim.
Other things.
But it's my server, so
And she doesn't transfer like a VI, so we don't have to worry about her getting away.
Yep.
I see no issue with it.
Yep, that's the general basis of the principle. I would need some tech to actually make this work, because range and processing power, but with your okay, of course.
You need
It's
it in
not
writing.
impossible. I think Melv would appreciate it.
Get me a pen, and I'll get it to you in writing. I don't think this should be an issue. She's proven well enough that she doesn't mean us harm.
They punch the air. They're very clearly. It's a very slow punch. It's like, yes. They're taking their win.
I can't believe Melv pulled a go ask your mother.
Oh my god, he did. Go ask Hana.
Yeah.
If Hana says yes, then you can do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Stupendous. And of course, this way, connection with Minerva wouldn't be dependent on me. It would be kind of reliant on Grim. But like, if I'm not around and Grim is with someone, you guys would be able to communicate with her. if you guys wanted to communicate with her.
Should be a good thing, I think, to have better communications. And I'm sure she'd enjoy having more to do.
Yes, she can have a glimpse outside. I
The
think it'd be
one
nice.
stipulation,
Yes.
Grim is to go nowhere near the black boxes.
There's just like a slow thought. It's like you can see the dots of like, why would Grim go near the black boxes? And I don't even use the black boxes. And then
Okay.
She gets remote access over controlling Grim.
No. Just a connection to speak with Grim. Or
see.
speak and communicate through Grim. And maybe an emergency protocol.
An emergency protocol.
If something happens, if something drastic happens, then she could control Grim.
So if she's capable of controlling it, we need to put a subsect in Grim. That makes it so that he is incapable of communicating with the black box.
Okay. Well, Grim's mostly next to me anyways.
Nonetheless, this is
Okay.
a fail-safe that we need to implement if you want to move forward with this.
Okay. They do a salute.
Implement the fail-safe first, and I will sign off on your request.
Okay.
He nods. Sounds like a plan.
Nice.
He
Nice,
offers,
nice.
like he just offers a high five.
they jump for it.
High five.
they get you to sign something.
No, well, he's gonna wait. Once they put the safety protocol, he will sign off.
They will do the safety protocol.
All right. I don't know if Chance is gonna need you to write anything for that, but or not write, but roll.
Mm-hmm.
But if he doesn't, then yeah, Hana will sign off on it so long as that safety protocol is put in first.
Nice. Well, I will let Chance know.
Because yeah, that's his one stipulation.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Mindy is also gonna be like, also, I'm gonna need to scavenge a bunch of things from possibly where we're going so that I can use for this. Some tech. Also looking for stuff to properly repair Minerva's dropship with.
We'll see what we find.
Yep.
I look at them. They got an LSM for this. They're getting so much stuff for this.
They will all say, thanks, Hannah. You're the best.
Hug you. Run.
Pat, pat. No worries. Glad to help. Enjoy your new project. Like as they run off, does this show like head shake of like, oh, that kid.
Oh, that was me.
That was me.
Once
See,
upon
okay,
a time.
I'm glad that I can at least approve one of your projects before I shoot them.
Yeah. Do we want to do that one?
I'm so sorry.
Before you.
Hana's hard vetoing Harkin mission.
You might have to wait in that one until Rai gets back from whatever journey she's going on into the magical mists.
We should wait until Chance gets back, probably, yeah, just in case.
Yeah. Let's wait to see how events with Ryan unfold.
Because, yeah, Hana's got the hard band hammer and he's ready to go swinging. I'm so sorry.
No.
Mindy's logic isn't working with him.
Mindy isn't a social character.
I know.
Stat into it? You've got EXP.
Enough to convince this bitch? I don't think so.
He's got really low clout. It's fine. You're fine. His credibility is miserable.
Yeah, and I have 1 clout.
Big mood.
Ooh, he outclouts you.
Just barely.
Yeah.
Are you guys doing more RPs, or should I pause this one?
I think you
I
can
think-
call it.
I think
Okay,
you're good.
cool, because I need to go away and be sick really